Turn. Don't absorb all kinds of information. If Cindy told Oliver, you know what? Your girlfriend is having an affair with another man. Oliver, to evaluate the message, you try to connect your emotion. Does it matter? Or you think this person sympathizes with you? What is the purpose? What is the goal of this person? What is the intention? What do you think is the motive of this person? That's how you connect your emotions to the message that was sent to you. If Cindy feels something for you, if Cindy, for example, Cindy, but this can be a reality. This is fictional, but fictional stories can also be true. Literature can be fictional, but it can also be true. Now, Cindy told Oliver that Oliver's partner is having an affair with another man. Oliver, you evaluate the message by trying to figure out Cindy's intention. In the past, Cindy confessed that she feels something for you, that she is in love with you. Now, if that's the situation, okay, Jeremy, really? Okay, if that is the situation, then Oliver has all the reasons in the world not to believe Cindy's statement. What if your partner met this person and it was an accident? If they are intimate, if Oliver's partner is doing it with others and Oliver's partner is demonstrative, okay, then Oliver has to ask Cindy if, uh, about Oliver has to ask Cindy of Cindy's basis in telling Oliver that Oliver's partner is having an affair with another person. What's your basis, Cindy, of telling me that you have proofs that they are in a relationship, that they are having an affair? So let Cindy provide the receipts, not receipts from other establishments. When I say receipts, the pieces of evidence. Okay, Cindy, you provide the pieces of evidence. What made you think that my partner is having an affair with another person? Now, if you are just entertaining your emotion and you would like me to end my relationship, break my relationship with another person, then don't expect me to believe that lie. And I have to investigate myself. If you know the person, you would never doubt the sincerity and the faithfulness of that person. How about emotional and intellectual identification, which is empathy? So, to empathize is to know what transpires in the person's message. What was in the thinking? Why does she have to do this? What's her purpose? Those are questions that you have to ask yourself. If you know your partner, you will draw conclusions. You will not jump into conclusion. I am not saying not to believe Cindy's statements, but you have to investigate yourself. A sensible person would not readily believe lies or unverified information from other people. The main qualities of a sensible message are the following. First, simplicity. Let's go over the list first before I explain everything because you need to evaluate also your own message. Simplicity, specificity, and structure. Then later, I will share with you questions to evaluate media messages. I will ask you questions later. I know you have already seen the presentation. You can download the material because I'll ask you questions about this. You will evaluate the following messages. Let me just preempt to give you time to prepare for this. What do you think of this message? Tell me what you think of the public notice released by Mall of Asia. SM Mall of Asia is currently working with authorities in investigating the MOA Globe incident. With our security measures in place, rest assured, that the SM Mall of Asia continues to be a safe space for your family and friends. Second, you can't buy happiness. Please evaluate the social media or the media messages that I am showing you. But you can buy shoes, and that's kind of the same thing. What do you think of that? I'll give you a hint. The issue involved here is equity and equality. Sometimes our best won't be good enough, but it doesn't mean we aren't good enough. Everything you say should be true, but not everything true should be said. Okay? So everything you say should be true, but not everything true should be said. Sometimes our best won't be good enough, but it doesn't mean we aren't good enough. Next, you look at the picture. What message is sent here? What message is sent by the photon? This is an issue about equality and equity. You can't buy happiness, but you can buy shoes, and that's kind of the same thing. Mall of Asia is currently working with authorities in investigating the Moa Globe incident. With our security measures in place, rest assured that the SM Mall of Asia continues to be a safe space for your family and friends. Now let's go back to our presentation. So there are three qualities of sensible message or quality message or developed message. Simplicity, specificity, and structure. To ensure that the language chosen is specific, ask the following questions. I want you to also use this criteria in determining the quality of the message or examining or evaluating the messages. Is the chosen language specific? Don't use words that would lead to a lack of interpretations. When you say, recite the poem, which poem? You're going to write an essay. About what? Do we have a class? In which class? You're talking about which class? Is it in English? Is it in social studies? Is it in mathematics? Do not make assumptions. Do not assume that the person who will receive your message understands what you meant in your message because assumptions, expectations, they are the mother of frustrations. You don't want to get frustrated, then you will get mad at the person just because you did not receive an accurate answer. You check your message first, evaluate your message. Did you choose a specific language? When we also answer the question, I correct the members of of my family when they ask me because when I ask them, mm, are you going to wash clothes tomorrow? Our neighbor will wash clothes, will do the laundry. Okay, what's the connection? I am asking if you're going to wash clothes or do the laundry tomorrow. The response that I receive, our neighbor will do the laundry tomorrow. I cannot see the connection. The answer, uh, the answer that was provided is not also accurate. I am looking for a specific answer. It's just a yes or a no. You tell me if you're going to do the laundry tomorrow. If it is a yes, okay, go ahead. Be good. But if you're not going to do that, you say no. Next, questions. Students, have I already informed you about the activity? Mom, we had a class last time. Okay. So what's the connection of that answer? Have you already eaten your lunch? I don't have money. Filipinos answer that way, yeah. They give you another answer. They're not specific. Are you going to attend the party? I was not allowed by my parents. And so, I am not asking about your problems at home. I am not asking about the decision of your parents. I am asking about your decision. Are you going to attend the party? Now, you see, that's how you evaluate the message. And I hope students, I'm not mad. I am only explaining. I'm just passionate. Hala, si ma'am, galit na galit. No, I am only explaining. Because I often hear that from the students. Students, uh, are you, students, are you ready to take the examination? Hala, ma'am, You did not make any announcement. I'm asking you. Galit ka ba? Okay. No. I'm just passionate. I'm just asking you if you are ready to take the examination. It's just a yes or a no. Now, if you're not ready to take the examination, I might consider that. If you say yes because you're smart, you're intellectual, I'm going to take the exam. I'm going to administer the examination now. You understand that? You thought, okay, I can take this for granted because anyway, Ma'am Colleen will just tell us how we are going to evaluate the message. There is an impact. At work, if you happen to be my colleague, I would get irritated. I'm busy with many things. Do not give me answers that I could not understand and I could not connect to the issue. I'm asking you about, are you done with the assignment? Have you submitted the accomplishment report? My boss asked me to do many things. And so, that's not my problem. It's your problem. Now, you tell me if you can submit the task. If you cannot submit the task, you will be reprimanded. Don't offer any excuse. Okay, no. I am a cooperative colleague. I'm not a toxic person. I am only telling you how you're going to communicate with others. Are you in a relationship with someone? Strict ang parents ko eh. Okay. What does it have to do with my question? Yes or no? You got the point? You understood my message? Study first. Okay, another answer. No, study first. No, I prioritize my studies. Uh, are you leaving now? Malilate na ako eh. Oh, okay. Have you eaten your lunch? Wala akong pera. Have you studied your lesson? I'm busy. Very good. Smart answers. You would also be put to a test. That's a sign that you are not an effective communicator. So is the chosen language specific? Specify and provide accurate information. Be sensible when you answer the question of the person that you talk to. Is the chosen language concrete? Can it be easily perceived? I have students. I know that my students would like to impress me. They use unfamiliar terms. Okay, fine. But if those terms cannot be understood and you cannot give justice to those highfalutin words or jargons, high level vocabulary, if you cannot give justice to them, then there's no use. You simplify your words or use language that can be easily perceived. You only do that if you would like to provide an emotional impact, just like William Shakespeare. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate. When you express your love to a person, I encourage you to be creative. Don't just say, I love you. Okay. Just like Ricky or Richie Rivero. I remember the proposal eh. Yung the proposal made inside, was that Araneta or I forgot the place, Araneta Coliseum, when he proposed or he expressed his desire to have, what's this, Brillantes?
Andrea Brillantes mo.
Brillantes, I think. When he asked Andrea Brillantes to be his partner, that was the proposal. Very creative, ah. Okay, you know what I mean. You watch the video again. Okay. You have to be creative when you express your love. You exert an effort. Concrete language may not be necessary, but in a typical conversation or in a typical communicative situation, use language that can be easily perceived. When I discuss the lesson with my students, I also use terms which some of the terms may not be comprehensible, but I exert an effort to explain. That is your responsibility as the sender of the message. The words may be unfamiliar, and as the sender of the message, in our case, I am the sender of the message, I have to inform my students what these words mean. Next, do the words have any connotative meaning? It's nice of you to insult me in front of your classmates. Do you think I'm happy? When I say it's so nice of you to embarrass me in front of your classmates. The denotation is the literal or the dictionary meaning of words. But the connotation is undesirable. The connotation is not good. When I say it's so nice of you to embarrass me in front of your classmates, denotatively speaking, if we are going to consider only the superficial level, I am appreciating you. I am thankful to you because you embarrass me in the presence of your classmates. But the connotation is, what is the connotation? I got disappointed. I got offended. That is, what is that? Sarcasm. Okay, that is sarcasm, ma'am. You are, you included a sarcastic element in your statement if you told you're somebody in the class that it's so nice of that person to embarrass you in front of the students. Denotation is the literal or the dictionary meaning of words. Connotation is the emotional impact of words. You are, okay, you are beautiful. You heard this from a person. The person does not tell you every day that you are beautiful. The denotation is you are good looking, you possess desirable looks, you uh, you are attractive. That's a denotation. But if you are aware that you don't possess desirable looks, you are not attractive, what is the connotation? Why do you think the person told you that you are beautiful? And you know, the person does not tell you every day that you are beautiful. You are aware of your limitations. You are aware of your physical attributes. You're not attractive. That is an insult, or the person needs something from you. The person is flattering you because the person would borrow or ask money from you. The culture of poverty prevails in the Philippines. Mm. Can you lend me 5,000 pesos? I'll repay you on the 30th. In what year? Promises are made when you borrow money from others, but they are not fulfilled. So the connotation is the person needs something from you. So to return the favor, you lend this person the amount that he needs. Am I using words which have additional meanings that could perhaps be misconstrued or misinterpreted? How can this issue be resolved? Use specific language. When you say, I have to leave, you're leaving, I am tired of this relationship. I have to leave. Be specific. Are you leaving the relationship or you are leaving the venue because you cannot stand? You need time to think. You need time to find yourself, or you would just like to be somewhere else. Be specific. I am leaving. You ask, are you leaving this place or you are leaving the relationship? Because the word leave can mean many things. You just have to tell me because I may not find a person better than you are, but I'm sure that I can have the best person in the world. Daling kausap no? You can have the best person in the world. If they want to leave, let them go. But you have to be specific. Clear? Use specific language. Next, moving on, structure. The ideas must be logically organized, making it easy to follow. You have two methods. It's either deductive or inductive method. You pave the way for the sender of the message. If it is a deductive method, you start with the main idea. You discuss the general information. You also arrange your ideas in logical order. In logical order, logical sequence, it can be in chronological order, but you have the option. I have written the options in our chat box. Deductive and inductive method. In the deductive method, You start with the general information before discussing the specific details. The counterpart of deductive is inductive. You present first the specific details before revealing the topic sentence or the general information. Example, Bianca is pregnant. Oh, that's the general information. Bianca, this is just a, oh, that's a gossip, Bianca, because this is how we talk about other people, right, Cindy? Uy, alam mo ba, buntis si Bianca. That's general information. Okay. Well, that's a blessing. Okay, so Bianca is pregnant, general information. How did it happen? Eh, di ba? Okay, they're always together. What do you expect? Are they just going to talk? Okay, so you presented the general information first before the specific details. That's deductive method. In the inductive method, Bianca and her partner are always together. Okay. And they were seen uh, enjoying their vacation in Bali, Indonesia. Wow! Rica Peralero, Bali, Indonesia. Okay, Jinky Pacquiao, Manny Pacquiao. Okay, they're having their vacation in Bali, Indonesia. They stayed there for 5 days. What now? Bianca is pregnant. So the general information or the main idea is presented at the end of the paragraph or at the end of your discussion. Now you have an example. That's what you do. Please pave the way for your reader or the listener. Make it easy for them to understand your message. When teachers deliver the instruction to their students, we use the deductive method. We inform first our students about well, Bianca, you're blessed. Your genes will propagate. Thank God. If you would have kids. You don't have plans of having a family, Bianca? Of course. Wow. Uh, you finish your studies first. Work for 5 years. There are many considerations before getting married. Bianca, so that is the response that we received from candidate number one. Thank you, Cindy. It's your turn to talk about teenage pregnancy. Let's welcome candidate number two. Cindy is our second candidate. Well, anyway, I hope Bianca didn't mind, but that's how Filipinos talk. I know Bianca will graduate. Oh, Bianca, this is my dream for you. You graduate with Latin honors. I would like to see you on the day of your graduation. With Latin honors, Bianca? You should not just graduate. You graduate with Latin honors. If that would happen, mark my word, I'm going to give Bianca 5,000 pesos if Bianca on the day of the graduation. I will be one of the marshals. If Bianca, this is the commitment that I have to make. Bianca will receive 5,000 from me if Bianca would graduate with Latin honors. Cum laude, magna cum laude, or summa cum laude. You don't say magna cum laude. Wow, Martin, you're making decision on my behalf. Wow. Okay, let's have a deal. Let's see, Let's see. If you will graduate, anyway, 4 years, I can still save. How many students are here? 3K. 5K on the day of your graduation. If you will graduate with Latin honors, I won't mind. I could have already saved after 3 years. I am going to reserve my 20. Wow, all of you will graduate with Latin honors. 20,000. I can spend more than that. I even bought a condo worth 3.1 million. Anyway, bragging no? I just want to inform you that I have a condo. Screen record, 100K. That's not a problem if you would graduate with Latin honors. Oy, somebody sent a photo. Who's this? Anyway, let's continue. Somebody already sent a photo, private message, Well, that's my commitment to everyone. If you will graduate with Latin honors, you will receive 5,000 pesos from me. I could save after 3 years. Am I still alive after 3 years? Pray that I
Ma'am,
won't.
wag ka pong mamatay. Thank you.
Okay, you pray for me. Next. So now you have the strategies in presenting your message because if you cannot present your messages uh, in a logical sequence, your students or people who listen to you will get confused and they could not follow your discussion. Let's do them a favor. Questions about the qualities of sensible messages? This is how you evaluate structure, specificity, and what's the first one?
Simplicity at saka
Simple language. Next. Okay, what are the questions that you can ask to evaluate media messages? We absorb a lot of information from social networking sites or from other platforms. First question, who created or paid for the message? If these assassinates or a meme created to ruin the integrity of a political figure, who paid for the message? Who created the message? If this was sponsored by a political party, then it's subjective. Why would you consider that? We have storage capacity. Ha? Our brains could only absorb a certain amount of information. We cannot absorb everything unless you possess eidetic or photographic memory. I don't have photographic memory. I always forget. I forget the promises that I make. Is this a sign that I may forget about the promise or the commitment that I just made? No, that I have already given I plan. I am going to keep a copy of the students who are enrolled here. I want to see your names. I also receive a copy. I also receive a copy of the students who graduate with honors. I want to see your name. I won't mind if I have to save my 13 months and 14 months pay. Wow. So I am revealing now the the amount that I receive, the compensation and benefits that I receive from the University of Makati. So I am willing to save my benefits for 1 year just to encourage my students to graduate with Latin honors. No grade lower than 2.0 and your final average must be 1.75 in NSTP. Now, drop, NSTP is not included in the computation of your grade, but you need to enroll. You need to enroll and you need to pass. Okay, going back to our discussion, who created or paid for the message? If that was created by someone who doesn't like the person and a meme was shared to everyone, the person paid for the influencers to share this meme, then there's no reason to consider the message. Our acquisition skills have started to deteriorate at the age of 6. If you would like to absorb more sensible information, get rid of information that does not make sense because we can only absorb a certain amount of information. The reason why students could not absorb what their teachers share with them, they don't want to forget the name of their first crush when they were at the elementary level. You don't want to forget the names of the people who got involved in your experiences. If there are things that could not develop or contribute to our growth and development, let us remove them or delete them from our memory. We can only absorb limited information. Next, who is the target audience? If the Filipino language was used for this advertisement or this message, then it aims to attract the ordinary Filipinos. The members of the elite class are outnumbered. When politicians campaign, they seldom visit posh villages, Bel Air, Forbes Park, Dasmariñas, uh, they do not reach out to the members of the upper class because the number doesn't matter. Unlike the ordinary Filipinos, 60%. Eh. So if the Filipino language was used in the message, that means that the ordinary Filipinos are convinced to or persuaded to believe in the message. What is the product? What information is being shared? What is the direct message? Direct message is made use of straightforward language. What message was shared to the audience? And what is the indirect message? This is the implied message. Determine what the implied message is. Listen and read between and beyond the lines. What message is omitted? So what is omitted from the message? The splice of videos. Watch the whole thing. You cannot get the gist of the information if you only watch the clip or the splice videos. We have been victims of fake news because we do not look at the entirety of the statement. We do not listen to the entirety of the statement. Now, it's your turn to evaluate the following messages. Okay, but let me explain first the instructions for your activity on Friday. Uh, this is how you will evaluate the message. I didn't log in anymore, but this was attached or uploaded in the hub. You will use the following criteria in evaluating and interpreting the statements of select. We can use the word select because select is also an adjective. It modifies a noun or a pronoun. The following criteria are used in evaluating and interpreting the messages. Choice of words, express your reactions. Please express your reactions to the statements made by the following personalities. The former President Rodrigo Duterte, former Vice President Leni Robredo, President Ferdinand Marcos, the former Mayor of Manila, Mr. Francisco Domagoso, former presidential aspirant, Leodigario de Guzman or Caliodi, former Senator Manny Pacquiao, and Senator Ronald De La Rosa. What are the criteria? Choice of words, content of the message, and the impact of the statement on the public. In your in your evaluation, you describe the speaker's choice of words, content of the message, and the impact of his statement on the public. You also interpret their statements. What do you think of their statements? How do you understand their statements? According to former President Rodrigo Duterte, I was angry. She was raped. Yes, that was one thing. But she was so beautiful. I think the mayor should have been first. What a waste. From the former Vice President Leni Robredo, what brings us together as a nation is far more powerful than what pulls us apart. From the President, Ferdinand Marcos, I will apologize for any wrongdoing I may have done that may have caused anyone pain or harm. However, I can only speak for myself. I cannot apologize for anyone. This time, let's have the statement from the former mayor of Manila. I would rather fail by doing something than to fail by not doing anything. Cagliodi said, the stories of workers manning picket lines of Muslim mothers in Davao del Sur, of the unemployed and discouraged victims of contractualization in Bacoor, the rumblings of MRTQs, even the complaints of the staff of a barangay in Cebu have only emboldened me to advocate the interests of the toiling majority rather than perpetrate reliance on patronage and traditional politics. Senator Manny Pacquiao said, Politics is not a business. Politics is public service. Senator Ronald De La Rosa remarked, it's either you are with me or you are not with me. If you are with me, then let's do it. But if you are not with me, then you are finished. Okay? Evaluate and interpret their statements. I have given the criteria that you will include in your evaluation. Questions about the instructions. No questions? So please evaluate the following messages. We're back to regular programming. Do we have um, volunteers? Do we have volunteers or you would like me to call you? Who would like to express a statement here? How would you react? Future. Do not challenge me because I have already produced, I have already, no, uh, the other teachers and I have already produced a lot of students who graduated with Latin honors. Oliver, this statement was made to promote which movie? This statement was made to promote which movie? Yeah, living eh. We deceive people eh. Okay. Incredibly ridiculous. This is an incredibly ridiculous statement. How can you steal the MOA globe? Have you been there? Have you seen it? Impossible. Anyway, who else would like to react? Ah, that's red notice. All right. You can't buy happiness, but you can buy shoes, and that's kind of the same thing. Do we have volunteers? Okay, let us ask Christopher. Christopher? Christopher? Christopher, are you there? Jeremy? Jeremy.
Can I volunteer on the equality versus the equity? Ma'am, nakamit po kayo.
Would you like to explain that?
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
go ahead. You can see.
Ma'am, am I loud and clear? Okay.
We can
First,
hear you.
okay. First, I just want to describe the picture first. The left side on the picture shows equality and the right side shows equity. I want to highlight this quote that equal chances are not always giving equal outcome. And we will try to answer that by defining first what is equality so we can differ equity. Equality means that we are giving the same resources and opportunities to each and every one of us without recognizing the circumstances and abilities of everyone. But if we give equal chances and opportunity, it doesn't mean that all of us will have an equal intended outcome. Even though that each and every one students here given the equal test, it doesn't mean that each and every one of us will have an equal score. Or in the picture, in case, even though they have one single block, it doesn't mean that all of them can watch the play. Since we are going to talk about equity, Equity is giving resources, opportunities with recognizing the inabilities and the circumstances that each and every one of us are facing. Ibig sabihin, when we are talking about equity, equity is allocating the resources and opportunities based on what each and every one of us are needing or are needed of. For example, in the second picture, since the tall one is already able to see, he doesn't need the equal opportunity rather than the two people. So if we are going to look at the problem in that picture is not about the equality nor the equity in the picture, because uh, equality and inequality both are right depending on the circumstances. But I want to highlight here that since equity is giving opportunity in resources so that everyone can have the same intended outcome. But just imagine if there are no barriers or if there are no fence in the picture, ibig sabihin, why am I using Tagalog? It means that it means that without the fence, or if the fence is just one clear glass, the tall one, the middle one, and the one with the chair, they can all watch the game without having a need to dwell with equal or equity rights. What I'm trying to say is sometimes equality is not the problem. We don't need to debate regarding equity or equal chances in our society if in the first place there is no equity barrier to each and every one of us. So that is the difference between equality and inequality, equality and equity. Thank you.
Equity. Yes. Perfectly said, Jeremy. I'll simplify that. Jeremy has explained it comprehensively. I'll give concrete examples. I have 100 pesos. How many students do I have here? Let's say 20. I have 20 students and I have 100 pesos. If I will use or I will adhere to the principle of equality, I have to divide this equally. 100 pesos divided by 20. Each person receives how much? 5 pesos? Ay, 20, yes, 5 pesos. Okay, 5 pesos. Equality, ha? Now, if the issue of equity will be considered here, if equity will be applied in this situation, I have 100 pesos, I am going to know the profile of my recipients or the beneficiaries. Let's say Oliver is already a millionaire. Oliver will not receive anything from me because Oliver does not need my 100 pesos. In fact, Oliver can share his resources. Now, Jeremy does not have school supplies yet, and Jeremy needs more money. Now, Bianca receives money from her parents, but the money that Bianca receives from her parents are not enough. Or let's say I only have three students, Oliver, Jeremy, Bianca. Or let us include Cindy. Okay. Then Cindy wants to pursue education, but Cindy does not have the resources. My Oliver will not receive anything from me because Oliver already has plenty of resources. Now, Bianca receives money from her parents, but the allowance is not enough. I'm going to give Bianca only 30 pesos. 40 pesos for Jeremy and 40 pesos for Cindy. Because Cindy and Jeremy do not have the means to pursue education. Bianca received something from her parents, but we know that the resources of Bianca's parents are not also enough. But if you would ask me, what about Oliver? He is also a member of the class. Oliver will donate and he will double the amount. That's equity. Is that clear, students? You know the concept now? I just simplified Jeremy's statement. We appreciate Jeremy's comprehensive discussion. Um, very intellectual. Eh. That was an intellectual discussion from Jerilyn. Okay, what about this? Do we have a volunteer now? Yes, Bianca, our future summa cum laude.
Ma'am, try lang po. So, sabi dito, you can't buy happiness, but you can buy shoes. And that's kind of the same thing. So, it is true that we can't buy happiness from money. But, but buying shoes or buying something that we want can help us fulfill our happiness. That's all. Thank you.
Yeah. Are you also obsessed with shoes? Are you obsessed with shoes?
Hindi po. Hindi naman.
Mm. By happiness, this is ironic because you can buy things that can make you happy. How are we going to reconcile the two statements? You can't buy happiness, but you can buy things that can make you happy. I don't know. Anyway, temporary happiness, short-lived or spasmodic happiness. We can buy spasmodic happiness or temporary happiness, but we can't buy happiness that lasts for a long time. Fleeting. Happiness that is blindingly fleeting. Next. Sometimes our best won't be good enough, but it doesn't mean we aren't good enough. Any reaction? What's your evaluation? Oliver, money is the root of all evil. No, the love of money. Not money, because money is good. If I would give you money, you would be happy, but do not worship it. It's biblically, the love of money. It was, okay. No, I'm not mad. I'm just explaining. My students think that I am always mad eh. Bakit ka galit, ma'am? No, I'm just explaining. Okay? The love of money. I cannot control it. When I answer the question, don't worry because my students also shout at me. Students, do you have questions? No, ma'am. Ba't mo ko sinisigawan? I'm just asking you if you have questions. Then you tell me that I am always mad. When I teach the lesson, I just ask you questions and you shout at me. You speak at the top of your voice. O, di ba? Bawi-bawi lang. Kala ng mga estudyante sila lang. Okay. Anyone? Can we hear your voice? Rina. Rina, what do you think of this, Rina? Yes, Rina? Rina? Eliza. Eliza or Alyssa?
Hello, Ma'am Eliza po.
Eliza. Examine the statement.
Sometimes our best won't be enough, when won't be good enough, but it doesn't mean we wait. It doesn't mean we aren't good enough. For me, Ma'am, sometimes we aren't best. So I can I can make an example of our progress in doing things, or like our progress in education, Ma'am. Just like me, I am in first year college, and I may say that I have a long road or long path to go, but but I may say that I have a long road to go, but it doesn't mean that I don't progress. It doesn't mean that I do not progress the it doesn't mean that I do not progress the run, but it's just I just need the little step to go to the path that I want. That is all, Ma'am.
Okay. We can't be the best all the time. Sometimes, but not all the time. Sometimes our best won't be good enough. We have our limitations. Our imperfections hinder us from fulfilling all of our goals. Uh, excellently. But we should not lose sight of what we can do for ourselves and for other people. Don't lose sight of your potentials. You were created for a beautiful purpose. Trust that God has plans for everything and everyone. Don't think that just because you are not as smart as the others or you cannot be the best in everything, You cannot make a difference. You just have to believe in yourself. Next, everything you say should be true, but not everything true should be said. A powerful message. This is the best way to end our discussion today. Everything you say should be true, but not everything true should be said. Yes, Cindy.
Okay. Good afternoon, ma'am. I will just restate this statement. Everything you say should be true, but not everything true should be said. So we should have these values to ourselves that we ought to be honest to everything we share to, and being honest person would really be a great for our every aspect of our life. But then there should be an aside consideration about the things that is we believe to be true. Kasi 'di ba ma'am, sometimes the truth hurts, 'di ba? And sometimes people may perceive it as a very like a bad perception and would take it as a insult, and it would degrade maybe the person whom to whom speaking about that. And sometimes we just need to be quiet, or we just need to be observe observer about the people we speak with. And by that we can analyze that should I need to speak this to make him or her um, be helpful, or should I not do it at all? Ganun pa.
Okay, very good. Oliver. Yes, that's correct. And there are things that should be left unsaid. If that will only worsen the situation, then you just keep it to yourself. It would be better if you will just keep it to yourself. This reminded me of Aljo Abrenica's post on social media on Facebook. He revealed that it was Kylie Padilla who has been unfaithful in the relationship. You have kids, protect your kids. Don't let the online vultures devour them. This could have an impact on the kids. We always think of the impact. Express your sincerity. Show you have to be true to yourself and to other people when you deliver your messages. But if it is your turn uh, to deliver these messages, okay, you are advised to tell the truth when you have taken the initiative to deliver the message. If this will not harm the other party, go ahead. But if this will only create another problem, then do not say anything. If you cannot say anything good, we have learned this from our parents. If you cannot say anything good about other people, keep your mouth shut. Observe the golden rule, the law of reciprocity. Do unto others what you want others to do unto you. We should be mindful, yes, of how others react and how they would feel if they receive the statement from us. Be mindful of other people's feelings. Be sensitive to other people's emotions. The world doesn't revolve around you. Okay, thank you so much. Those are just the things that I would like to share with you this afternoon. Please do your assignment. Take care, everyone. We're experiencing bad weather conditions. Stay home and God bless. You can eat your snacks now. Not,
Thank
is
you,
it your
ma'am.
lunch?